Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors lose first-round pick after lottery draw. The Golden State Warriors could have kept their first-round pick this year if they'd moved up from number 14 to number 4. But like so many rebounds, Klay Thompson fadeaways, and Draymond Green fast-break passes this season, the balls did not bounce their way. This year's pick was originally traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in the summer of 2019, when the Warriors had to get rid of Andre Iguodala and his $16 million contract because the D'Angelo Russell sign-in trade hard capped them. The move allowed the team to later trade for Andrew Wiggins and the draft pick that became Jonathan Kuminga. It also set off a long-running feud between Dillon Brooks, Ja Morant and the rest of the Memphis dynasty, which so far has won a single playoff series. Memphis held on to the pick for 4 years before sending it to the Boston Celtics in a 3-team deal that sent Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies, Tyus Jones to the Washington Wizards, and Kristaps Porzingis to Boston. 3 months later, the pick was sent to the Portland Trail Blazers along with Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, and a 2029 number 1 pick for Jrue Holiday, days after the Milwaukee Bucks traded Holiday for Damian Lillard. Now the top 4 protected pick has finished its wild journey and settled at number 14. There was a 3.4% chance the pick ended up in the top 4, roughly the same odds as Jordan Poole playing full game without committing a turnover. In a way, this is good news for the Warriors. Having a future first-round pick pending limits a team's ability to make deals because of the Ted Stepien rule that forbids teams from dealing their first-round pick in consecutive years. It's named after the former owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who traded so many future first-rounders that the league banned the Cavs from making trades and put this rule in place. Stepien had a history of racist comments, injured fans by tossing softballs off the Terminal Tower in Cleveland, and once invited a beat reporter to sit around the pool and watch porno films. In a quote that sums up his ownership tenure, he once admitted, "I may not be able to run a basketball team, but I can run a lingerie show." Teams have gotten around this restriction by trading pick swaps instead, something that ended disastrously when the Brooklyn Nets mortgaged their draft future to the Boston Celtics to get 2 aging veterans in Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, and is on its way to ending disastrously again after trading for James Harden. They've already sent this year's number 3 pick to the Houston Rockets, and Houston controls their first-round picks through 2027. Will we see a Sean Marks rule in a few years? Now that this draft pick has conveyed, the Warriors are free to trade first-rounders in 2026 and 2028 without violating the Stepien rule. They owe a 2030 first-rounder to the Washington Wizards in the Chris Paul-Jordan Poole deal, which is protected for picks 1 to 20. If it falls out of the top 20, the pick turns into a second-rounder. The 2024 draft is not considered the strongest crop of players, not that the Warriors seem inclined toward adding a young developmental player anyway, especially at the guaranteed money of a high first-rounder. SB Nation's Ricky O'Donnell projects the number 14 pick to be an 18-year-old French forward named Tinjane Salon, who is 6 feet 9 inches with a 7 feet 2 inches wingspan. The scouting report isn't all that encouraging. At the moment, Salon still has a long way to go. His feel for the game is still developing, to put it kindly. He struggles to score inside the arc, and his three-point shot runs cold more than hot. Get excited, Blazers fans. It's probably better all around that the pick conveyed this season, since the pending nature of the selection would have hamstrung the team's front office. The protection would have dropped to top 1 protection in 2025 and no protection at all in 2026, meaning the 2026 and 2027 firsts would be untradeable. The Warriors will go into the 2024 draft with just 1 selection, at number 52, a pick originally belonging to the Milwaukee Bucks and landing with the Warriors after a mind-numbing series of second-round pick swaps we won't describe here. They did get Tracy Jackson-Davis late in last year's draft, so it's not a hopeless position, but it helped that TJD's agent happens to be Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s brother. Does Dunleavy have deals in mind to use the new freedom to trade draft picks? Does James Dunleavy have any hyper-athletic clients who can run the floor and shoot threes? Does the NBA moving the second round of the draft to a separate day open up the Warriors' options? Has Steve Kerr already decided to give this draft pick inconsistent and frustrating minutes, regardless of who they choose? All these questions will be answered in June, while Warriors fans can officially retire their pipe dreams of adding a future legend like Mattis Buzelis or Zachary Rizicher. And Blazers fans can wonder why their return for Drew Holiday wasn't better than this. The Warriors' 2024 draft lottery chances and conventional wisdom. General consensus says this is a good year for the Warriors to give up the first-round draft pick they traded away in 2019. Experts consider this a weak rookie class. If the Warriors' top 4 protected pick owed to the Blazers doesn't convey this year, it rolls over to the next year as a top 1 protected pick in the hyped Cooper Flag draft. The Warriors would be better off with a 2025 pick than a top 1 this year, the thinking goes. But conventional wisdom, in this case, is overthinking it. Of course, the Warriors should want to luck into a top 4 pick on Sunday night's draft lottery. If the ping-pong balls bounce the Warriors from 14 into the top 4, 3.37% chance, they'd keep the pick and get to select either a potential plug-and-play contributor or flip the asset to a team in search of instant rookie gratification. In an environment in which the degree of difficulty for building a contender around 36-year-old Steph Curry increases with each passing year, having a top pick now would speed things up. It would give General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. more options in an offseason that requires a home run swing to return Golden State to title contention. Warriors' trade proposal would leave them salivating for 6-time All-Star. Golden State Warriors will be looking in all directions this offseason to find a new piece to pair with their key players. In a blockbuster proposed deal by Stephen No of the Sporting News, the Warriors would sign Jimmy Butler, which would leave them salivating, according to No. The exchange proposal consists of a 3-team deal. Warriors hire Butler. The Warriors would be salivating at the opportunity to add Butler alongside their longtime playoff rival. They need more photo creation. Butler can still do this at an extremely high level, No wrote in his May 9 Butler Destinations article. In this proposed deal, the Warriors would have to send all 3 first-round picks. The Warriors would have to send money to match Butler's large salary. Warriors has up to 3 first-rounders it can move after the draft, in 2024, 2029 and 2031. It would need to include all of them to be competitive. Playoff Butler is a household name in the NBA. Despite being 34 years old, Butler proved in the playoffs that he can be one of the best players in the league, which is evident from his performance in the 2022-23 playoffs when he sent the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics home. During these playoffs, Butler averaged 26.9 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 1.8 steals in 22 games. Adding the 6-time All-Star and his playoff performances would instantly make the Warriors one of the scariest teams in the NBA during the postseason. This would be the type of move that signals that the Warriors are committed to winning a championship in the next year or two, given their age, but it would also give them the opportunity to complete that task if they could put up similar statistics in previous years. Run. Butler has shown numerous times during the 2023 playoff run that he can score at will when needed most, adding another element to why he would be a great fit for the Warriors. The Miami Heat were eliminated by the Boston Celtics in the first round, but Butler missed the entire series with a knee injury. However, in a video posted on X, Butler criticized Boston and the New York Knicks. Speaking to the media, Heat president Pat Riley criticized Butler for his comments. For him to say that, I thought, is this Jimmy trolling or is Jimmy serious? Riley said. If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut and criticize those teams. Riley's comments raised questions about whether Butler could be moved this offseason, perhaps to a team like the Warriors. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.